sweet peas, it's Shaaba. Welcome back to another Monday, another week, another year in review. I hope you've all had a very Merry Christmas and you're looking forward to the new year. And in light of it being the end of a year, and not just that, but the end of a decade, I have a little exercise that we can all do together. So pause this video if you want to, go and grab yourself a pen, some paper, pencil, laptop, whatever it is that you write on these days. And we will get to that a little bit later. But first, I wanted to do what I did last year, which was a review of 2019. Obviously last year I did a review of 2018, but it just felt so warm and accomplishing and fuzzy and lovely to take a few minutes, take a look back at what it is that we'd actually done throughout the year and just feel so damn proud about it. I hope some of you guys were inspired to do that too, because trust me, it feels so good and it puts you in a really good place to start the new year feeling kick-fired and badass. Yeah, 2018, 2 years ago, was crazy busy. I'm not sure this year, 2019, has been as busy, but it certainly has still been a lot of fun. I'm sure some of you would have kept up with the vlogs, so if you have, this may be a trip down memory lane for you. But here is my year in review. One theme of 2019 definitely seems to be growing up. So many friends and some family members have all been getting married, getting engaged. We've had baby announcements, we've had people moving house. It feels way too adult. Stop right there. But despite how weird and grown up it all feels, it just feels really nice to be able to see people moving on and looking back at where we were, you know, like 10 years ago. Playground antics and Pokemon bags. I mean, some of them still have it now, I'm not gonna lie. To bills and jobs. It's a very interesting dynamic. So one thing that happened at the beginning of this year, which again, I'm gonna cheat a little bit, it technically started at the end of the year before, but my PhD started properly. I received some of the most life-changing news, which was that I got funding for my PhD at the beginning of this year. Actually, let me just correct that a little bit. I applied for funding, I got rejected. I applied for funding again, I got rejected. And painstakingly, after many months, I managed to find my funding at the beginning of this year. And it kickstarted a whole flurry of activities and learning and knowledge and a new life path for me, which has been very, very exciting. I hosted a creator event at the beginning of this year in February, where I had some people that I really looked up to want to partake in this project that I'm doing to sort of see how social media can be used to better mental health and sort of promote pro-social behaviour. And yeah, it went so well. The lovely VidCon team also accommodated my study. We went to VidCon with a whole host of iPads. Loads of you lovely viewers came over, filled in the survey, got entered into a large cash prize draw, and it just felt so rewarding. It was the first VidCon London too, and that was quite fun. It's very large and very sparkly. That's probably the best way to sum up my VidCon experience. Although we're skipping to the end of the year, as in last week here, it's sort of related to the PhD point, so another big thing that happened this year is that I quit my job. I'm sure many of you can relate to this, but I really struggled holding down a 9-to-5 job. The commuting, the early starts, the smartish clothes. It's not for me. The sitting by a desk. And whilst I absolutely love my team and I've had a great time with them for the past few years, I'm very glad that I found a way to put that to one side, and at least for the next 2 years, whilst I've still got my funding, not worry about a 9-to-5 routine. So yeah, bring on 2020! Another thing that happened earlier this year in February was Jamie turned 25, and I took him on an amazing, in my humble opinion, surprise birthday adventure. We went on a trip to Birmingham. He had no idea where we were going. It doesn't sound like a big deal for those of you who are in the UK. It's like a staycation, you know, like within the same country. But it was so damn fun. I gave him like this little clue piece of paper. He had no idea where we were going, and for someone with anxiety and someone who feels a need to plan a lot, I'm so proud of him. He did so well. We went to Cadbury's Chocolate World, which was a lot of fun, definitely aimed towards the kids. We went shopping. Birmingham has an amazing city centre. There was so much culture there, so many cool shops there, a massive shopping centre. And we went to Dudley Zoo, and as part of their conservation efforts, they host like an orangutan experience where the money goes back to helping the animals. You get to learn about them, sort of interact with them a little bit, and we fed orangutans sugar-free Vimto. It was amazing. Orangutans are Jamie's favourite animals, and Dudley Zoo, for those of you who are interested, it's a great zoo. They do great things for animals, and it's so interactive as an experience. We had birds eating off of our heads. There's a really cute little farm area. It's very good. Highly recommend. This spring we also started wedding planning. We found our wedding venue, we booked our wedding venue, and we sent out our save the dates, which my sister has very aptly named STDs. We're still getting on with wedding stuff, but it's so exciting to be looking at dresses and speaking to parents and integrating the two cultures together. For those of you who don't know, Jamie's family is Scottish, my family is Mauritian, and so we've got like this 3-day wedding affair planned where we get to choose the best of both worlds, and I'm super excited. Fast forwarding to summer, we went to Brighton, not just for Brighton Pride, but I did my first PhD presentation. It sounds like a small thing to some, I know, but I got accepted based on my research to present a poster that I made, and I spoke about it, spoke to loads of new researchers. They were super excited about it. It was a wonderful feeling. I don't know, I just feel like in my little bubble I'm trying to make the world a better place. I know all PhD students say that, I'm not being naive. I know my PhD is not going to change the world, but I'm enjoying it. This year, this summer, was also the time of many Pride events. We went with the Body Shop, gifted, to Brighton Pride, and it was such a wonderful experience to be able to meet so many of you, but also just to be able to go to Brighton Pride. It's something that Jamie's anxiety definitely wouldn't have allowed us to do, because big crowds, lots of people sort of coming to say hi, and being able to go with the Body Shop not only made it an opportunity where we could meet with other creators and celebrate a cause and a brand that are so genuine with their efforts, it also meant that we could go and actually experience things like Kylie at the concert, which was fantastic. So many thanks to the Body Shop for that. And it wasn't just the big Pride events that we managed to go to, we also managed to go to smaller Pride events like Liverpool Pride. It was really nice to be able to go to somewhere that we wouldn't normally go and see people who were so shocked that we were there. We met so many of you lovely, lovely viewers, and it was just, I love Pride. Pride season is the best thing. It's also around my birthday. I also turned 25 in June, so yay, 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 yay to being old. Yay to being a quarter of a century, oh my god, cue midlife crisis. I'm kidding. In fact, I was mighty fine with it because Jamie arranged another surprise for my 25th birthday. We went to the Harry Potter studio tour, and oh my gosh, it was so cool and so much fun. I will not give out too many spoilers. If you have the opportunity to go and you like Harry Potter, it's a must. It is a must. It is so good. Also this summer we went to Cannes with Google. They flew us out because Jamie was taking part on an LGBT panel, and it was so amazing to take part in Pride on the Beach. Again, I don't understand how we've managed to get here, but life seems to be, at least this year, working with really cool groups who genuinely believe in making the world a better place. And I love that. I love exploring the efforts that these groups are making, and I love sharing them with you guys in fun and creative ways. This summer, I also went to the Capital Summertime Ball with Shazia. Shazia's my sister. It was a proper sister bonding moment. I love moments like that because I feel like I don't get to have them very often. I come from a bit of a broken family, and I always worry that like I'm not doing a good job of being part of either family because I'm sort of like split from all of them. But no, that was like a cool sibling moment. I went to a lot of concerts this year actually. Jamie took me to Khalid, which was a lot of fun, and complete bucket list moment, I took my mum for her birthday in August to see Ariana Grande. That, ooh, wow, girl crush, ooh, wow. That's it. And not just because she's like insanely gorgeous, also because she is insanely talented. Ariana sounds just as good live, if not better, than she does recorded, which is such a feat, especially considering that she doesn't track her vocals. Like, what is that? It was also so sweet to be able to take my mum out to do something like that for herself. She doesn't get to do things like that very often. She is the biggest fangirl I've ever seen. It was just good. I love music, and this has definitely been a music-filled year. Jamie also got his balls. Yay! This is certainly more of an accomplishment for Jamie, but because it was a big surgery, it affected both of us. This summer, Jamie finished his physical side to his transition. It was the last stage of surgeries that he wanted to go through, and I'm very happy for him. And as a cherry on top of that little cake, he also got his GRC, which is a gender recognition certificate. It means that his sex is now legally male. He's very excited, very emotional about it, which caught us all off guard, but it means that we can now officially get married next year as husband and wife, which is amazing. To celebrate what seems like a very final sort of moment in his transition, I hosted a penis party for Jamie, and that was a lot of fun. We had our friends come over. One of our friends, Nate, who is an insanely talented model and prop maker, made these tiny little silicone thingies, and we had a scavenger hunt around the place. I made penis colada, which is a take on pina colada for a drink, and yeah, it was just so sweet that we've managed to have a group of friends that we trust enough and feel comfortable enough around to be able to share moments like this. Oh, I'm feeling so warm warm and fuzzy right now. I feel like the Grinch when his heart just got 3 times bigger. Boom boom. Speaking of surgery, though not necessarily balls, Polo also had surgery this year. The poor little guy this autumn had to have all of his hunting teeth removed. It came as a bit of a shock to us. He had a wobbly tooth. We took him to the vets and they said, well, we might have to take out a few others. We'll have to see based on the scan. And then she called us up and was just like, just to let you know, we had to get rid of all of them. Don't worry, he still has his chewing teeth. And he looks so adorable now because whenever he yawns, he's just this little gummy boy. And he isn't in pain anymore, which is wonderful. He had gingivitis, which is like a genetic thing. There was no way to stop it. And I'm very happy with our little gummy cat. Speaking of animals, we lost Benji this year. Benji was a family dog. He didn't live with us. He lived with Jamie's parents. I've known him for 8 years now, and it was a very traumatic and sad moment to see him go. But he's in a better place now. A few months later, nearing the end of this year, Jamie's parents got another dog, Alfie, not as a replacement, but as an addition to the family home. So we have Alfie to welcome. He's an adorable little Bichon. He reminds me so much of Benji, but he is certainly his own little mischievous character. So he's joined our family. Benji will always still remain here, and our little family group is as cute as ever. Again, speaking of loss, I very recently lost my grandpa, my nana. Christmas was quite weird without him. New Year's will definitely be very bizarre without him, but he's also in a better place now. He's not in pain, he's smiling down on us, and I feel a great sense of relief from that. And you know what else? It really restored my faith in our family and also humanity overall, because the amount of support that was received from people far and wide, people that, you know, dropped things and made efforts to come in person at such short notice and help out and, you know, just show their support. It was just, it's a very warming thing to see. I tell you, people are very powerful. And of course, another thing that happened this year, which I can't forget, was the amazing trip we had to New York. It was a work trip. We went out there with YouTube, and honestly, it was a once in a lifetime experience. I cannot tell you how many movies we've rewatched since going to New York and recognizing so many different places. It seems like every single American movie is set in Central Park or Times Square. But really, New York? Like what? I can't believe it. Again, feeling very blessed that this is what life has become, and very excited that we get to explore new places, and that Jamie has overcome his anxiety enough to be able to do this, and that we get to do it together. We went to a beautiful temple, we went to Central Park, which was stunning and so important to the New York ecosystem. We saw funny, fiery, smoky, blowy thingies and little Einsteins that tapped their heads, and it was just a great experience all around. And that's it really, that's what's happened in 2019. In one way it seems like we've done so much, in another it seems like we've not done very much at all, especially in comparison to 2018. And although I guess as a whole it has felt like more of a quiet one, it's felt very wholesome. It's felt like one where I've discovered myself a bit more, been able to make great plans going forward, and just, I don't know, be better situated in a way that I want to be in life. I know that sounds so cryptic and so deep, but I hope it makes sense. Wholesome and grown up. So now that we've done our cheesy look backwards, let's do a look forwards. I asked you to grab something to write with because this is a little exercise that I found that I've done that I feel has really helped me self-reflect on myself as a person, what I want out of life, and just making sure I stay on track with it. And the first step to this is to come up with some themes that summarize this year. So pause this video here, have a think back to some of the themes that have shown itself throughout this year. As always, if you're feeling brave, pop it downstairs and let me know. For me, the biggest themes of 2019, I would say, have been family, finance, music, travel, loss, love, and celebration. That seems to be a good way to sum up 2019. And overall, I'm very happy with that. I would be very happy if my 2020 looked similar to that list, maybe perhaps with less of the loss. So have a think about what your 2019 brought to you, and have a think about themes that you'd love 2020 to show for you too. For me, I would love it if 2020 could bring productivity, something that I feel I will need a lot of, and routine, because of the amount of changes that I've had in life this year with no job and my PhD. It's a very independent lifestyle, and I just want to make sure that I can maintain some personal sense of structure. Development and self-care is another important thing that I would like to focus on going into the new year. I find it very easy, and to be honest, I love the fact that I'm always on and always thinking about work, but I realise and appreciate that there are moments when you do need to just slow down a little bit. What other themes would I like? Maybe expansion, because I don't think we're doing bad. I just like to sort of develop and grow what we have currently. And experience. Does that sound okay? You know, like not necessarily materialistic things, but just experiencing new things, like concerts, like cultures, I don't know, just new things, experience. And that, I guess, in turn will lead to development and growth. Ooh, wise owl. Next, what I'd love for you to do, and what I have done too, is to have a think about things that you would like to add more of into your year. Slightly different to overarching themes. I hate the narrative that New Year means that you have to have a new you and a new changing yourself. You don't need to change yourself. There are things, however, that we can do to sort of improve or set goals of, as we can at any point during the year. So by adding more, I just mean the small little goals that you can sort of inject more of as we continue our lives. For me, these would be being more conscious of things like the environment, of my diet. Sorry, so people have just come in downstairs if you can hear some commotion. Spending more time on creative things like music and videos. For the longest time, I've really wanted to do singing lessons and I've just not had the time to be able to sort of integrate that into my life. So that's something that I really would love to work on. As I mentioned, I'd also love to invite a bit more routine into my life this year. Working from my home office as opposed to my office means that I'm in control of my own hours. So I just hope that I can really make sure I get the most productivity out of that. And one thing that I have to mention is that there's gonna be a little bit more love next year. We're getting married in September, very exciting. So lots of planning, lots of thinking about us and just more celebration, right? And maybe a sense of commitment and an additional ring will be something that I'll have to add to that list. Now, second to last, I'd like you to think of things that you might want to get rid of next year. For me, I've thought about this quite hard, and the two things that I'd like to try and get rid of is comparison and takeaway. I realise I'm not going to be able to eliminate all of these things from my life, but I would love to emphasize more doing things because I want to do it, not because I've seen other people do it. Whether that be things that we plan for the wedding, or also things that we do for videos, but just things that I wear. I want to wear clothes or act in certain ways because it's what I want to do, not because I think it's cool or what I've seen other people do. And I would also really love to let go of the takeaways a little bit more. We've been relying on them so much because of time and travel, and it just has such an impact on health and my wallet. And I also really love cooking, so I'd like to make more time for that in the new year. And finally, for the final exercise, I would love you to have a think about some of the things that you'd like to keep, because I'm still the same me and you're still the same you, and if you haven't done any of the previous exercises, it would be great if you could at least just think about this one. What are some of the amazing things? Because you don't need to change who you are amazing, you are badass, and you should want to carry some of those core values and awesomeness with you from this year into the next. For me, at least, I think that's my positivity. I would like to think that I'm very good at maintaining a happy and positive stance on life, and I would like to continue that in 2020. I also think I have an ability to juggle a lot of things, and I would like to continue that because I feel like it's something I'm going to need a little bit more with this whole looser structure. And finally, my ambition. I'd like to think that I set goals and at least 99% of the time try and achieve those, so I would like to try and keep that going in the new year too. So however 2019 has worked out for you, I hope that 2020 brings you so much success and love and happiness. In the opposite order, happiness, love and success, because that's what's most important. We're going to be bringing the new year in by ourselves this year, I think. We're dog sitting 2 little sausages. They're absolutely adorable, and we've never done it before. Not the dog sitting, a New Year's of just the 2 of us, so it should be quite nice. Thank you once again for joining Jamie and I on this whirlwind of a journey, and hopefully I'll see you in the new year and the new decade with more fun and more videos. So for the last time in 2019 and for the last time of the 2010s, if you enjoyed this video, do consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing if you would like to see more, and I will see you in 2020. Be kind, have a great day, and Happy New Year. Bye.